through the mall, I seen her standing to the left. She was having withdrawals, Gucci on her breath. Swag was on Vogue and she never took a step. Say she went to public school but really went to prep. Really like the rookies but she rather date a vet. Flexing for the gram, mimosas on a private jet. Anything she wants, she see it and she's gonna get. Only dates older daddy gotta pay the rent. She was an uptown girl. Uptown girl. Couldn't get enough.
Let's bring it in.
What's good? Hey.
Sorry, I was oh god, I just killed the music real quick there. I'll fade it out nicely. How are you doing, man? It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been time. We'll catch up. We'll do a little podcast here. It's gonna be a quick one.
Quick hit and run, man. Just to say what's up to the homies.
Yeah, a little.
What about you? What's up?
Good, man. Had some family stuff. My mother was in the hospital and she's good now. But yeah, so we had to go off there. It just had a lot of stuff. And then again, I'm crunch time on this like little Airbnb property project that I've started over a year ago. And we'll tour it. We'll demonstrate it at the old Balls Deep party.
When you going there again? I know you planning. When you gonna spend July 4th there or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 4th of July there. Kind of like enjoy it, finish some projects, and then I'm gonna wrap it, and then it'll be up for the randos to kind of use it, and then we'll swoop in September, use it for ourselves, or whenever we want to. Otherwise, but yeah,
hey, all right.
Should be soon.
Last question on that. Y'all gonna clean it yourselves? Collect that cleaning fee or?
Initially, just to make sure there's like a good start to like this, everything. Make sure everything's getting cleaned properly before we hand it over to a random cleaning company like the vet. Like we hired someone to come in and they already deep cleaned it, but yeah, I might do the first initial cleanings and then I'll find a few. Because the hard thing about that is like you have to actually have several cleaners kind of contact because it's about availability. If you have if you need to turn it over within 6 to 8 hours, it's like you got to see who's available. So you have to have like 3 or 4 people on call. So that's a bit of a logistical nightmare in itself. So yeah, we're probably just gonna handle ourselves initially.
I love it. Hell yeah, collect that shit.
In the world of football and fantasy football, it's still preseason. We can't really talk too much about fantasy, although we will talk more fantasy as we get towards the season.
Shit's still popping off though, man. The NFL knows how to structure their offseason. You feel me?
Yeah, so it's fun in the preseason here because we kind of get to talk a little about like what's happening in terms of the league and players, and we have some players that we are familiar with who are still trying to find a home. One being DeAndre Hopkins in 2023. Yeah. Where's he landing? Where's he going?
I mean, he visited last week New England, Tennessee. Ties to both, right? Got that nice little clip from NFL Films where him and Belichick are like loving up on each other. Vrabel over on the Titans head coach, they were together back in the Houston days, but still got back on the plane, didn't leave with a contract. So that's saying one of a few things, right? Is he asking for too much money? People are saying he's trying to get what Odell was getting. Automatic, right? Are there concerns about him in the locker room? I mean, I don't think there should be, right? And then last but not least, is the talent still there? Which I on one hand it is, right? Because his qualities aren't those that are affected by age, right? It's not like speed. He's not a speed guy. He's always been what you said it best, Beans. High point. You know what I mean? Just strong, 5XL hands. You know what I'm saying?
He's a lot more wiry, but like similar game to a Larry Fitzgerald. That's why he was so.
I like how someone put it best. He's almost like was funny, like James Harden, who is another guy that people are linking of a Houston return, but not in that way. He's like James Harden, where like Harden got good at drawing the foul, right, going to the foul line for a free throw shooter. People call it flopping or whatever. But D-Hop, in relation to football, like he got good at the push off, the art of like hiding his body between the cornerback and the ref, doing what he can has to do in tight space, and like rarely ever got that push off call. You always had DBs like what was good, bitching at the ref. Anyways, yeah, man. So like I mean those qualities, like they stick with a veteran receiver, kind of like Andre Johnson, right? He had those qualities. The tip.
So here's the question: if he's so good, he was so good in Houston at least until.
Even in AZ, he was good, but yeah. What's the question? My bad. What's up?
So why is Arizona willing to let him go? What do you think? What's your vibe?
I mean, it's tough to say because people might laugh at us like, motherfucker, what do we know, right? But
we don't know.
It has to be if a team like Arizona would rather pay $20 million in dead money to not have the motherfucker on this roster. I mean, what is that saying? Locker room cancer. I don't know. We don't have proof, but like, what else would it be, right? We just said that he's an aging but still a wide receiver one status. So it's got to be like either Arizona's rebuilding, establishing a new culture, and D Hop doesn't fit that mold, right? That's really all I can really think of, man. Like flip it around. Let me flip that question. Look at like the Jets. The Jets just went and got who? I mean, I think it's a 1 year rental, but Aaron Rodgers, right?
But do you think he's
But
like?
they have a coach there in
You think
Saleh
he's
who came
onto
from
a
the
new
Niners.
team or retiring after 1 year?
Yeah. I think he's gonna retire. Do what Favre did, right? But anyways, like the head coach there, Saleh, right, who came from the same tree that shit our new head coach D'Amico's from, right? The Niners. But Saleh over there got a new culture in the building. I think after the previous head coach Adam Gase, who screwed it up. You know what I'm saying? But the thing with the Jets, like they think they're a player away. Like they think just because they got Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna go to the Super Bowl now. Like I think that's one of the dumbest things they could do is get Rodgers. Like they're not even like first or second in their own division, right? You got the Bills, you got the Dolphins, and New
That's.
England.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's. I think I asked you like in one of our earlier kind of like preseason episodes here where it's like I'll be honest. Like last year was kind of a blur to me with all football. I didn't do a good job. I sucked. My fan. It's probably my worst year in fantasy. I probably watched the least few games just because Parenthood has hit me hard, and my TV is overrun by Cocoa Melon and shit. So I had not a good sense of the Jets, but the overall feeling I kept getting was like this idea that the Jets are just a few offensive players away from being a Super Bowl contender because their defense is so good. There might be like a
You're right.
classic like Baltimore Ravens defense so good. We just need a little bit of production on offense, and we're there. And now it's like Aaron Rodgers, like, oh, he'll give us something, and definitely now we're Super Bowl bound.
I just feel like they were never one of eight. You know what I'm saying? If we talk
Right? No, that's
were
what
they ever
I
one
guess
of?
that's my point. I come back.
But you're
I'm like,
right though. You're right.
I was like, I don't remember y'all being like that deep in the playoffs. Why is everyone's like Super Bowl or bust for you guys all of a sudden?
Yeah. But and shit, maybe it is that defense that's so nasty, and maybe they did some things, put some things on film against Mike McDaniel's Dolphins, and then against the old Josh Allen himself. But like even the Bills are hot right now. But I feel like not to go on a tangent, but like outside of Josh Allen, that team ain't much. Yeah, Stephon Diggs is there, but like it's not moving or going if Josh Allen is not moving.
Who they're saying might be shipped because he's unhappy with his.
Stephon Diggs, I
Yeah.
think either asked for a trade or something's going on, which is crazy because 1 second these motherfuckers are on the Instagram live doing handshakes, different handshake for every teammate and shit, and then the next day on here bitching, like I want to get traded. Like,
Well, so I don't know if this is true, but I've seen this in the interwebs where it's like apparently Stephon Diggs wants not only a bigger role in the offense, but he wants a say in the play calling. What wide receiver has ever had a say in the play calling? Like a quarterback rarely have a say in the play calling.
yeah, exactly right. I mean, either these boys are playing too much Madden, or this is like the LeBron James effect, bro. Like 15 whatever odd years ago, and then the first super team was there, that Miami Big Three, and it's like now these then LeBron's over there like doing controlling the GM or campaigning for free agency moves. It's like these players think that they're like, damn, bro, like it ain't a shut up and dribble type response I'm trying to give, but like shut the fuck up and play, man. You ain't the, you know what I mean? You're not handling
Like you can give like
player
you
management
can give your opinion as a leader on the team, but don't get all huffy
in the
and
practice
puffy.
room. Because
you are paid to do a
the
job.
scouting report.
Yeah.
You want to be the coach too, bro? You just want two salaries? Like, come on, man. Like, anyways, I'm sorry, but hey, yeah, D Hop. I mean, great question, right? Like you were saying, like why is he still on there? I really think that's why. Just I don't know. I know there's three different what I've read people, three types of people, right, on the team. You got people that are assholes, you got people that are just complacent, and then you got guys that'll do anything, right? So it's like where does D Hop fit there? You know what I mean? You can only have so many assholes, right? Your quarterback Kyler Murray is already one of the biggest assholes, apparently. You know what I mean?
And it worked. It worked here in Houston, especially with like him coming in as a rookie, and then Andre Johnson being like the veteran presence in here. It's like he was not going to overshine Andre Johnson, and then as Andre left, D Hop, like you saw, he became more of a prima donna, like more it's like off the field. I never saw it really
showed his true colors, bro. Once Big Brother was gone, and he was
yeah,
Big Brother,
and it wasn't like
colors.
It wasn't. I don't think it ever got to like a toxic thing. Like he got just more flamboyant with like his style and more like even like small things.
CJ Stroud says it best, bro. Didn't make the main thing the main thing. Like sometimes you could like, does D Hop like
Yeah.
watching
Oh yeah,
soccer
yeah, yeah.
more? Is he like being into fashion, or is it football still really the
That's what
number
I'm
one
saying.
thing?
Like they did
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Hard Knocks in the Texans, and it was showing him like shopping and shit, and it was just like there was a difference in behavior a bit when Andre Johnson left the facility, and how he kind of
no
just
doubt.
carried himself and how he had success, and so it was building slowly, and then as he left, he has all the confidence in the world as a veteran in the league. So maybe
I
that
believe
doesn't
that.
sit well where I don't know. It's really hard because I believe what you're saying. At the same time, it's like he's not a kind of loud, kind of flamboyant, kind of in your face wide receiver.
Attention
Still,
seeking type motherfucker. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of subtle. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I agree
Maybe
with
it's
you.
too aloof, bro. Maybe it's too aloof, and that ain't what they need as a leader in the wide receiver room. Maybe they got a lot of young wide receivers. They need someone else that's gonna kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
You've been reading a
yeah.
book.
Anyways, shit. D
Have you
Hop
been?
though, what's up?
No, sorry. We can go to the next topic, but
No,
yeah, on D Hop, where do you think he's going, if anywhere? He's definitely going somewhere, probably. He's getting
yeah,
invites
yeah.
at least.
Boy, I was really thinking New England there for a minute. Now it might just be like, where is he willing to go for the pay cut? And if that's the case, maybe it won't be not maybe it won't be New England because they're not in win now mode. He's only taking a pay cut if it's win now mode, right? So people like, I don't know. I hate playing this game because he looks good on any roster, right? But it would be nice to see him on the Chiefs, man. That would be crazy. But I think it would be a contender for sure. You know what I mean? So the top team in any of the 8 divisions. You know what I mean? Whether it's the Chiefs in the AFC West or the Bills in the AFC East, or even motherfucking I, who knows, man. Oh. But yeah. Shit. Anyways, so this is kind of good segue into this dude right here that I told you to put up on the sidebar. Owen Eastwood, belonging.
No
Uh,
idea.
All
Tell
right,
me.
man. It was
Enlighten
an
me.
Audible book, right? So I listened
Okay.
to at least maybe 2 chapters so far out of 20 or some shit. But this guy talks about kind of the primal instinct, not instinct, lack of a better word, but like desire, right, to be a part of a team. What do you feel about that? Like belonging is the name of the book. So like saying that like, hey, you're gonna get the best out of someone when they feel like that they're belong to something bigger. I'd say tied to a group belonging. I don't know how you
Yes.
feel about that. Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much what this guy's about. He's just talking about, I guess, leaders across the board, whether it's corporate world or the coaching world. Um, and yeah, how these different people that he's met through his life, this Owen Eastwood, and how they've showed
Oh.
him, how they conquer the fears that someone might have in not belonging, or how to squeeze the most out of somebody by, creating an environment where they're not
Yeah, it
gonna get
reminds me of
slapped on
the.
the.
I mean, I really want to read that as a manager. I
Mm-hmm.
do call on and lean on a lot of old football BS, and more so like if you feel like there's a cause, if you have a belonging to a team, and it's not just about you know doing your task, but what your task equates to. And I always try to tie it into like we're helping each other get better as software engineers to develop further our career. So like that's the team kind of what we're striving for. We accomplish
Yeah.
the business shit done the day to day, but the
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
rah attitude to fuel them to like make sure they achieve like and are at their best is more like try to invigorate them and entice them that like you're also just perfecting your craft and you're becoming a better engineer for like the next job and the next job. And I'm very real with them. Like you're gonna get opportunities. You don't have to stay here. So I want the best for you guys. So my goal is to like we get the shit done we have to do for the business, but I'm also growing you as an engineer and you're becoming a better
Yeah. Yeah.
person. And that resonates with people because so many people in this tech world are just so X's and O's and it's just like it's the biggest strength I have and it's just like no one wants to talk on the human element of just like belonging to a cause or just being feeling like you're in a shared what's the word objective. You just want to get
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
and that's the shared objective I try to bring to like our team. So
You're
whether
trying
it's
to
about
tie it
like
all together. Yeah. You can
yeah,
align your personal stuff with the business stuff, and we can all win at this. Yeah. At
yeah,
this
so it's like
juncture.
if
Yeah.
someone's like unhappy with their salary, I'm like, okay, great, let's get you paid, but we gotta get your skill up, and if you get your skill up, we can get you paid, and if we can't pay you, someone will pay you, and I won't lose
Yeah.
sleep over it. I want the best for you. So that
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly, and that just being that honest with people, I've had guys not only like work as hard as they try to, but they actually want to stay on the team, even if they get opportunities because they know like you
They
know.
know they're gonna grow with something, and yeah, they're putting
Yeah,
it
so
in.
yeah,
And hey,
belonging
that's
is
what's up.
it's huge, man. Yeah, it's huge. But yeah, I like it. I'm gonna check that book
Yeah,
out.
yeah. No, for sure. Yeah, like you. So we just covered like one of the three things he touches, right? That the well-being is directly tied to like the belonging of the group, right? If they feel like they doing their part, or if they see the bigger objective, or what's the end game. Yeah, they gonna do their part to drive the machine. Another one was like I touched on it, like creating the environment for them. So like, what is that for you? Do you empower your people? You know what I'm saying? Or is it more of like, hey, speak up, constructive criticism even to me is fine. You're not, it's a safe place. You can ask shit without getting worried about getting, sidelined
I do
or,
both. Yeah, yeah. I always like
yeah,
say
yeah,
I'm not perfect. Like it was like my first year as a manager because I went from like
yeah.
being a code guy to now managing. So I always try to show what's the word? Like I'm not above them, and I'm very much trying to figure this shit as well. Like
Yeah, yeah.
just because I'm manager doesn't mean I
We
have
all
all the
on the
answers.
same path learning. Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah. I
constructive
just get
criticism
paid
to
more
me
than
it's
you
great.
outside of that.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Um,
hey, shit, that's very interesting, bro. Like, yeah. No, I
just
like
being
definitely check it
vulnerable
out,
is
man.
not a bad thing, and I think a lot of people think it
Hey, and
is.
exposing yourself to it's almost like comedy in a sense. Like before I talk shit about other people, I always open myself up to talk shit first. That's how I
Oh yeah,
invite
you got
people to open
being
up.
self-aware or
Same
just
thing
being
with
able to
this,
poke
right?
at yourself. Yeah, poke some
Yeah,
fun at
yeah.
yourself. I
Hey,
don't.
even if it's not your fault, almost having to like bite your tongue and just say like, ah, fuck it. In your head, I'm like, all right, I just shouldn't have given you that benefit of the doubt, and I'll explain it
But
better
it
next
is
time. You
also
fucking
empowering them.
idiot.
Like I do read a lot of manager shit just to kind of be more kind of feel like I can progress. And a lot of it is like you don't want to become the bottleneck, and you should facilitate and unblock. But when people have issues, it's kind of like if they ask you a question, you just ask it back. Like, well, what do you think we should do here? Versus
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, and that actually helps to grow them too, because it's like that makes them feel empowered that they don't always have to get like Dave sign off for shit. Because I got guys who do feel that need, and I tell my wife, your job is really to make
Bro,
your
that's
man.
wild. You apply that shit to like home too,
Yeah,
or your kid too, almost. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, that's
yeah,
wild,
it's
man.
crazy. Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
love it. I love
there's
it.
so many
Yeah,
things
yeah.
with it. Like, I think whether it's reading stuff like this, there's so many good elements from learning it means to belong to a team and learning what's bigger than yourself, kind of stuff. So football was great for us and great for me. I don't know what I'm going to expose my children to. Like, if my kid's not into football, I'm not going to force him to do football, but I would really encourage him to do some kind of sport, like
Team,
baseball.
whatever. Yeah, some team shit.
Dude, there's
I mean, it
something.
might even come down to band, bro. You got that music side of you. It might not translate to guitar
Yeah,
to
that's
these
fine
boys,
too.
but
Like, I
they
mean,
might, yeah.
I think
You know what I
sports are is like really good, just like because the physical grind of stuff is another level than like band and stuff would be great too. Like, so that's great. I think any relationship you form, and I was telling Amber today, I think the one thing I keep seeing out of like the most decent people at this age are like they had good friends growing up, they had good, a
Yeah, bro.
social world. They weren't like
Uh
up the
huh.
ass of a boyfriend girlfriend in like 14, 16 that kind of like fucked them socially. So having a solid group of friends and peers is the most important thing that I want for my children growing up, for sure. Like just
Oh yeah.
me and you sitting here. I met you like when I
Yeah.
was like what, 15,
Shit,
14?
13, bro. Yeah.
Yeah,
14, 14. Yep, yep.
yeah. So like the idea of belonging, I think how you bringing that up, we're kind of going on tangents, but I really want to read that now.
All
So many
right,
good
man.
things.
Well, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you
Uh,
went into Odysseus. What's Odysseus doing in our chat?
Hey, Odysseus, this came up on a different podcast I was listening to. Some former GM motherfucker. But he was talking about how what am I trying to say here? Oh, he was just saying the slew of new head coaches or the next class of like rookie leaders. Think AFC South. Three out of the four quarterbacks are rookies. The other one being Trevor Lawrence, who basically had a rookie season do over after Urban Meyer was the head coach his first year. So they gave him a red shirt. But what I'm saying is these new like guys stepping in to a role like uh how do they do it? Like, if you were a veteran on the team, how would you respond, or how would you want your rookie coming in, knowing he the shit, he's a high pick, he's about to run shit, but how would you want him expressing or demonstrating leadership? Is it a shut the fuck up, listen before you speak, or is it a come in right away and get swole and chest out and deep voice? I mean, I know we want everyone to be genuine, but I guess what I'm trying to ask here is like, or compared to Odysseus was like, I think his story was like he came back. however many years later, and like he had to come back, and no one knew him. Like his wife was already like trying to get, other dudes was trying to bang his wife. Like he had to basically re-earn everything from when he had left the first time as Odysseus, like the king, the ruler, or Odysseus, the leader of his tribe. Right, went away, came back, however many years later. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
No, you bring up a good point. So, like, I mean, let's boil it back down. You're a high draft pick. How do you come in like I'm a high draft pick, big dick swinging, or
hmm
at the same time, if you're too timid and shy because you're trying to be too respectful of the veteran presence, like you're there to like you should be aware that you're there to establish a new culture. So it's like, how long do you wait till you respect who's there and such to kind of really take a stance as the leader of the team?
it almost has to be a weak culture already there too, right? Seeing as how the team lost, they got a high draft pick, and now you're here, right? It's
I
not
mean,
like there's
I
a
think it
strong
can
culture
depend,
to
right?
begin
Like if
with.
you're coming into a place like the Texans, D'Amico is the one really establishing the culture. You don't have to do that. So
Okay, I like that segue right there. So it could be more coach dependent. It's never just on the
yeah, if
yeah,
you have a weak
I
coach
got
in your high draft pick, Trevor Lawrence, he probably was lost in a sea of like, what the fuck do I do?
you.
His first
Yeah,
year. Um, Not so much the case with the Texans. D'Amico Ryan's was brought in because he was such a good leader as a player. He's demonstrated good ability as a coach, and so those combined, the Texans, give him a shot. So that's a good question because I think there is something to like if you come in too timid and too shy, like you're trying to like, oh, I'm just here to I want to make sure I do a good season and stuff. Like people kind of want to see the dog in you a bit, you know.
yeah.
So I think
Yeah,
it's
they want to see you vocal. The cameras are on you. Twitter, Instagram is always
and you
yeah.
and
It
you
ain't how
it
it
could go a
was.
long way to like get the team hype, and especially if you
That's
have
what
like,
fucks up some of these kids though too, man. They've been having this phone on them, or they've been talking to the world since they were prospects out of high school. You know what I mean? I sent a video out. I know probably didn't get a chance to see it, but it was a kid that like he was committing, to his college, and he like did the pump fake on a hat. Like this one. No, no, but that don't feel right. I'm gonna go this one. And it was like, dude, apparently like the message boards blew up. I think he pump faked. I forget what school, but for Oklahoma. So
oh yeah, I did see that. Sorry, I did remember
yeah,
you seeing that. I was like, this
yeah,
is
yeah, and
this is silly.
yeah, I think Notre Dame. He pumped like he had Notre Dame going, and there's like, nah, never mind. And then Oregon, and then he decommitted the next day anyway from Oregon to go to OU now. So it's like, dude, this guy's. Anyways, but yeah, acting like that, bro. I mean,
I think that
shit,
the
man.
more
That's how you get
intelligent
some of these
ones kind
prima
of like
donnas,
can
man.
can you can read between the room. You can. I think there's just moments, right? There's especially when you come in. There's moments where it's like, yeah, I'm a rookie, and no matter if I was a high draft pick, I'm gonna respect what's happening or respect a veteran, whatever the hell. Doesn't mean you're carrying their
Yeah,
pads. You
yeah,
don't gotta do that shit. But
yeah.
then in other times, it's like maybe you just made a big play in a big game and you kind of sealed the deal. Like there's just moments where that kind of gradually increases the first year. I think naturally
Oh shit, who knows,
in
man?
terms of how you come
But
into like a locker room and like take control as a high draft pick and you're expected to be the guy. It's just a
yeah.
weird pressure. It's like you're here to be the savior, and
And I
everyone's
like how
like,
D'Amico put it actually. D'Amico said like, "Hey, I'm not gonna put that. Why would I put that kind of pressure on my guy? He doesn't have to come in and be a leader. He just needs to come in, learn, get a little better every day, and that's it. There was actually a cool clip. Mike Tomlin, the Steelers head coach, that motherfucker been around a while, man,
yeah,
and
man,
he was addressing the team after their last day of whether it was OTAs or whatever. Before basically they're on the break now
the Texans.
until summer. No, Mike Tomlin. He was the
Oh yeah, Mike
Steelers. He
Tomlin.
was talking to his
I
team. It
was
was a
thinking,
clip that
yeah,
they showed
right,
online,
right, right, right.
and it was tight, man. He was basically saying like, hey, I'm not asking for much. Like, it's a reasonable request. He kept saying, repeating, reasonable request. Just get a little better. That's it. If you were here last year, like, we let you mess up last year. You got to have fun and make mistakes. It's like you don't get to do it this year. You know what I mean? And he just kept going like that, and it was just like it's a reasonable expectation. Like, come on, you shouldn't be coming back. Bare minimum. Like, blah blah. And hey, man, I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, these coaches,
I
man.
liked it either
This
way, but
actually maybe that's a segue into the next. Yeah, the
yeah,
simplest
what's it
solution.
sounded like it was. I thought you were setting up a great segue there.
Shit, now it is. Shit, this homeboy right here, not Revo, but his name's William. William Occam. Occam Razor, I think is his nickname. Philosopher, man. I was looking up some Frederick Nietzsche shit. Came across this dude. He had a saying. Have you heard it? It's called the simplest solution is almost always the best. Um, what you
I've
think
heard
about
phrases
that?
very
Like,
similar to that though.
yeah, yeah. One similar is like only do what's necessary or some shit like that. Not, I don't know, but yeah, yeah, shit.
You
I
know,
just thought that was an
I'm a
interesting
big tech
quote, and
guy. I'm a big, Elon Musk fan, and there's a popular phrase: "The best part is no part." Like when they're engineering these cars, these spaceships, it's like the best part is no part. Make it simple, make it stupid. That's the best solution. So very
all
similar to
right,
kind of what
all
you're
right.
saying.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking. Like whether it's that or it could be cliches or even applying to the real life, maybe. I don't know. Like the simplest solution. Like
Can we apply that to fantasy football at all? Because we like
I
to get
think
cute.
so. I mean, oh
Fantasy
shit.
football is all about stats
Take
and what you're getting
always.
recommended.
I think the simplest solution for fantasy football is let auto pick. Just auto pick, motherfucker. Because at the end of the day, it's all random anyway. Shit, you know.
Well, I think even we talked about like we like to use. I've tested the Chat GPT, analyzing our data, trying to find patterns. That's all cute and fun stuff, but like simplest solution is it's not a hard formula. When you're doing fantasy football, it's like you want the guys who are going to touch the ball the most to have the most chances for a decent play, a touchdown, for more points. Who's holding the ball the most? The quarterback always does, but then you go wide receiver. So it's like that's how I try to break it down and just like stupid simple rules. With which
Yeah, yeah,
team? So this team is a run heavy team. Okay, that means these guys are really high. Versus trying to think like I got to get a running back here, a tight end there, a wide receiver there, and be cute with my analytics, or someone coming to the table with a big spreadsheet they got off of ESPN. It's like it's not that hard. It's really fucking
yeah.
simple rules and a lot of luck.
Yeah.
So that's my
Well, and sometimes no, I feel you on that too. It is luck and shit. First of all, let's get that out the way. But yeah, you never know. Some people, man, like some of these motherfuckers in our league. Hey, I'm guilty of it too. You might not keep up with like most of it. So like shit, I got my cheat sheet ready. I'm just going with the pros
yeah.
pick,
You
I
always
guess.
go into it like that, but like sometimes like I
The
think
simplest solution is almost always the best.
yeah, some people just overthink it or a lot or something, or trying to get too cute with it. Do you want
Yeah,
to move on to what's
man.
happening? Let me close this out.
Yeah, 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 bro. Yeah, yeah. So,
There's not a lot of football stuff. We've kind of just made this a talk show tonight, but it's
nah,
been
nah.
fun.
This is about anything, man. I saw Across the Spider Verse. That was sick.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen it.
Took Talia. Yeah, she loved it.
How old is Talia
Yeah,
now? 5?
five. Yeah, she turned 5 in March, so she's good.
Nice.
She's trying to get her to read, and she's kind of
What's
behind, like as
what's her
far as
birthday? March what?
7.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah,
Cool, man.
yeah, man. Shit. Would you call yourself more of a leader or a manager right now? Your role?
That's a good question.
I asked because there's a cool quote I came across. It was leaders do the right thing, and what managers do things right. You agree with that? So leaders do the right thing. So what's that? More integrity, I guess. They do the right thing, and then managers do things right. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's a. Oh man, I don't know if I can talk to this on air because I was talking to this off air before, but
no, no, no. But that's cool. Just keep
it's
that
work
peace of mind.
sensitive, but it's along the lines of things I was talking to you
Yeah,
off
yeah,
air
yeah, yeah. Good, good,
about some
good,
work stuff going on.
good.
Yeah, there's
I thought you'd like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I have definitely those moments where as a manager I know I'm supposed to do A, B, and C, but my empathy or other things override it, and just as a human to human or a friend, I wouldn't do that to somebody, and I would want to be informed of X, Y, and Z, or
Yeah, yeah.
I
Be
would want to be told that it's
transparent or something. Yeah,
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 so it's like you got to do a little bit as a manager entitled to like certain information that's quite private or information that's not yet ready to be released to the wider audience of the company. So you have to do a job. You have to do your job. You have to have those lines, and you can have friends and stuff, but you can't play favorites and all those things. But then
yes, sir.
there's the
Yeah,
empathy, personal side where it's not even playing favorites. It's just like as a leader of people and doing the right thing and doing what is fair to somebody is not always aligned with what like you need to do as a manager in a company. So I feel that quote. I feel it.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Shit.
So
Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was interesting. I knew you'd like it. Shit.
I mean, we don't have to go too deep into it because it's sad. And Kyle and I were actually talking. This whole submarine thing.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been reported. It's officially been reported today that
R.I.P..
it had imploded within hours. You know what a crazy thing is that I saw a tweet out there where some kind of U.S. Navy technology, vessel system people, whatever have you, apparently had detected the sound of the implosion happening. They didn't know what it was at the time, but now that they kind of have pieced all the information and timeline together, they realize what we caught there was exactly that. It's a system that was
Oh
designed to catch like
shit.
enemy submarines underwater, so it's very high tech, new military equipment. Um, but somehow I don't know where it was. I don't know details. It's literally a headline I saw, so I'm kind of like jumping the
Yeah,
gun
yeah,
on
yeah.
and sharing this. But I kept seeing it a lot, so it's kind of crazy that this was detected, mere hours into the expedition. So there was no like these guys were sitting there a day and then it
Yeah,
happened.
like what everybody was thinking. Like they went. They were gone instantly.
Yeah,
Probably
and
no
then I've
opinion.
seen like I mean, so it's just really sad. Went off, whatever your opinion is about how stupid it was or how badly the craft was assembled, because that's getting a lot of criticism. It's just really sad because these are people who had families, relatives, all that jazz, and they're now gone. And it's been kind of wild. Me and Kyle were talking about, like, have you seen the amount of memes and stuff on the internet where people are just poking fun at this without acknowledging like these people are likely dead, and
Life.
everyone's having a
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So it's like there are funny parts to it, right? Like the whole game controller thing. Everyone's had a good laugh with that shit, but ultimately it's like there was a 19-year-old board, and the
Hmm.
fuck, it's just very sad, man.
Yeah.
And so that's where people are like, well, they knew the risk, they knew the going in, but it's like, yeah, I mean, they signed a paper that said, you know, death is a possibility, but people sign paperwork of surgery all the time that says death is a possibility for. When I got my wisdom teeth out, they're like, death is a possibility here because we're gonna put you under, and while we are very sure that won't happen, it's a possibility, just like a
Yeah.
possibility of plane crash going down. So I think
Or
a
like
lot.
SIDS, like the sudden infant death syndrome, shit like that. It's what's wild, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's like there's so many things we sign off on, and we're even though we're warned, we're like, that's not going to happen to me. And again, I
Well,
think
hey, I'll be honest, man. I'm one of like the inconsiderate fucks like that, man. But no, you're right. Like
well,
to come back, you got me coming back down to earth for for a little bit as far as like, yeah, it is like human life that was lost. And like you said, man, it was a kid on there. The boy's 19. Like,
I
I
mean,
know
the
people
sad
say
thing
18
is
to a man, but like he ain't even lived his life, man.
I gotta check my
Like,
sources on this, but I hear another Twitter thing or something, but apparently this 19-year-old had reservations going on and was like quite scared of this journey. And his father kept encouraging because his father was like so into the lore of the Titanic and stuff, and was like once in a lifetime opportunity. So some aunt relative is apparently coming out of the woodwork saying he should have never been on that. He was scared. His father kind of pushed him and encouraged him. And I just thought that if that's true, that is insane. And would you ever do that to your child? Like if you wanted to go skydiving and Talia just did not want to do that, like why would you push your
you
child to
know,
do
it's
such
crazy,
a
man, because
thing?
we do that kind of shit every day. Like as far as pushing the kid to the limit, most likely a lot less extreme. Like every day, it's usually like try this to eat. You know what I mean? Like just try a bite, bitch. Like you will
Yeah, and
never
I'm
have to
sure,
eat it
like
again.
in
But as far as that shit, yeah, that's yeah, man. May, maybe a roller coaster, if that. I don't know, man. Push in the
I
pool,
mean,
maybe I'll
the
do those
only the
things.
only
But
defense you can somewhat maybe say for the father is just like he was so sure they were gonna be safe, and he was like, "This
who
is a
wasn't though? Was he? I mean,
how
I don't
can
know,
you
bro.
be?" But
Yeah, who knows? And
and it's
I'm
just
not gonna
like
play that what
once
if.
in a
Yeah,
lifetime
yeah.
opportunity to see the Titanic. But like, dude, you're spending so much money and all that risk to see the Titanic through a porthole like that big.
I mean, yeah,
There's movies.
and that's why they getting ridiculed, man. That's why, honestly.
Yeah.
And the internet undefeated, man. So yeah, it was only a
Anyway,
matter of time.
we can shift on any other what's happening. I know we've
Hey, yeah, Navy you were talking about, the U.S. Navy that had detected that sound. I mean, like you said, mere hours after they descended, because they heard that sound Sunday, right? That's when it dropped. So that's good to know, though. I guess like they weren't suffering these 4 days, like
Oh yeah, I mean, the last
rolling the
thing to
dice and
say,
shit
like
to
there's
see who's
I've
gonna
seen
eat
some
what.
visualizations out there about like when a hull like that depressurizes and collapses, it's instantaneous, and like they didn't even have a second to respond or even know what happened. Like it was literally like the lights went out
Once it was
within
there, boom.
seconds,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I
like
read some
it
shit.
would have crushed, and like I think I saw it, it moves like
Like
1,500 miles
40
per
elephants or
hour,
something.
and it
Oh,
just crushes,
shit.
and the crushing of the hull moves the air so fast where the air actually combusts into flames, and so they turn to ash within like seconds.
Damn,
Insane
dude.
kind of like statistics on like how that actually happens when that thing
Unfolded. Oh, I need to. Yeah, that's sick of me, but
So
I want
that's
to see
the
that.
that is the only kind of bright thing here is like they didn't know what hit them, and it was a quick process for them, so there wasn't
Hey.
suffering. But anyway, on a lighter
Yeah, man.
note,
I just nah. That's didn't really have anything else, man. But real quick, that Across the Spider Verse was a good ass movie.
going back to
Um,
that
yeah. Going back
about
to
them
that, so
spiders.
I'm happy. Shit.
So like,
Try.
let me ask you this: it wasn't like tiring, like the whole play of like, okay, across the universe, there's a lot of Spider-Man, because this one is like Spider-Man everywhere and anywhere kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. No, because I would say they broke this movie into like three parts. The first 20 minutes was a little bit of Gwen Stacy's story, right? So it was very quick moving through that. Like Peter Parker was actually the lizard instead of the professor in Peter Parker's world. And anyways, now it's good because it's human conflict. You know what I mean? It's a lot of the father rebellion or the kid rebellion against his
I did see a
parents and
clip where it was like,
balancing Spider-Man.
every Spider-Man has experienced this trauma where they lost a loved one, and it's just part of the path
Yeah,
of a
and then that was kind of
Spider-Man.
the theme, yeah, in the movie because at the end it's like, hey, wait, what do you? So every Spider-Man loses somebody, and then they're trying to tell oh Miles Morales like, yeah, man, that's how we get to be the next level of where we are. Like we have to go through that trauma, and he's like, nah, he's like, well, I don't, he realizes who he's gonna lose, and he's like, nah, I can't let that happen, and blah blah.
But he already
But
lost his
nah, it
uncle.
didn't get tiresome, man.
I
It
mean,
didn't get tiresome. It
it,
was these movies though are getting ridiculous. They're all like
we
at least
we don't
2 hours.
have that many viewers, so I'll just ask. So he's about to lose his father, right?
Yeah. It's like a Captain Stacy in every universe. Whoever the captain is in every Spider-Man's universe, that's the death they go through. And like it just so happened he finds out like, oh, my dad just got promoted to captain, so it clicks like, oh, I'm about to lose him.
That's weird because I thought he already experienced a loss through his uncle and shit.
Exactly, yeah. But that was
So
I guess
does his father
insignificant.
die, or does he save his father?
No. He's good. Yeah,
So
yeah. His
he
father
beats.
ends up not taking the promotion, I believe. Is that
Ooh,
what happens or something? So something like that, yeah. But
nice.
anyways, it is a to be continued. That's how long the movie is. Like at the end, they just, I don't
They're gonna try to squirt out another movie.
Yeah.
Damn,
Motherfucking, they already got one Oscar. That's impressive for an animated movie. So I guess
it
they
is,
keep
man.
trying.
All right, man.
Hey, and
Well,
then Joker, the next Joker is gonna be Lady Gaga. Supposed to be Lady Gaga in it. I don't know how that's gonna work.
oh yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole James Gunn thing, and I don't think that's definitely not coming into the universe. That's like, I think that and the Robert Pattinson Batman are just complete standalone films. They're not really even acknowledged. They haven't even. It's funny with those. Excuse me. The new head, James Gunn, and whoever the hell else, they've actively said the whole Ben Affleck thing. That's not a thing anymore. Have you seen the Flash movie?
No. But that's gonna be next. Hopefully this weekend I can catch it.
Well,
I ain't been to the movies in forever, but I'm gonna try.
yeah, the gist I get from that is like it kind of like putting the nail in the coffin on that old Justice League gang and kind of like creatively
Yeah.
resets the timeline. It kind of opens the door for these guys to do whatever, literally whatever the hell they want, because it kind of opens that door of multiverses and all they can start reboot anything they want, and they can just say, oh, that was in Universe 125C. That's different. And so they've commented on those, but they've never commented on, I feel like, the Joker or the Robert Patterson Batman. They're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, those are movies. Yeah, whatever.
I hope they keep them though. Yeah, we'll see them standalones. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, bro. Shit, let's
yeah, man.
get
I'll
out
let
of
you
here,
go,
man.
man. All right. Well, it was a
I
good
love you,
little
man.
late night session. Yeah,
Happy Friday.
I'll talk to you soon. Hey, what did you do for Father's Day?
Oh shit. We watched Across the Spider Verse, and that was it, man. Cooked some food. Like we laid low. Yeah. It was the first day back with Talia. She was gone for 2 weeks in Cyprus, so it was nice.
Oh, dude, AJ went down to Cyprus too with Janice. She came up here and she took him back down. So he had like 3 days, and it was hilarious. So he's been
Good.
swimming in our pool. I've been climbing on the ledge, and he went down for three days, and he swam in like my brother's pool, my sister's pool. He came back swimming like 10 times better than he did when he was with us. So it's like
Nice, bro.
he just swims around the pool now. He still needs a life jacket, but yeah, he was
Damn, that
funny.
boy know how to swim though. Nice.
No, he still needs a life jacket, but like he was just paddling and moving around.
Moving.
now.
Yeah, he
Before
ain't
was just
scared.
like, oh yeah. So it was just really funny, like just 2 days in the water with other people.
That's your little Pokemon, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
All right, man. Well,
All right,
I'll
bro.
talk to you later. Peace.
She was taught to marry rich and don't look back,
Balls deep on her breath.
and never sign a prenup. She's a stone cold killer. She was all determined, mama needed new shoes. Pregnancy or marriage, both options.